The training deck fell silent as Commander Vrextal's clawed hand connected with Cadet Riley Morgan's face. The sound echoed through the cavernous chamber like a gunshot, and every recruit from a dozen species froze mid-exercise. Riley's head snapped to the side, her dark hair whipping across her face. She stayed perfectly still, her jaw clenched, green eyes blazing with something the other cadets couldn't quite identify. Rage? Calculation? Both? Pathetic, Vrextal hissed, his serpentine features twisted in disgust. The Korvathi commander towered over her, his scales gleaming under the harsh lights. This is why humans should never have been accepted into the Galactic Defense Force. You Deathworlders are all primitive aggression and no discipline. Riley slowly turned her head back to face him. A thin line of purple blood, Korvathi blood, dripped from her lip where his claws had split the skin. She said nothing, but her breathing had changed. Slower. Deeper. The other cadets exchanged nervous glances. Everyone knew humans came from Earth, classified as a Class 12 Deathworld, a planet so hostile that its dominant species had evolved into apex predators just to survive. But Riley had always been quiet, controlled, almost gentle despite her origins. You question my authority? Vrextal leaned closer, his forked tongue flicking out. Perhaps I should recommend your immediate dismissal. Send you back to your savage little world where you... Permission to speak, Commander, Riley interrupted, her voice barely above a whisper. Vrextal's eyes narrowed. Denied. You will learn your place, human. Request combat evaluation, then. Riley's lips curved into something that wasn't quite a smile. Standard protocol allows any cadet to challenge a training assessment through direct demonstration. The commander's scales rippled, a Korvathi gesture of amusement. You want to fight me? I've commanded warriors for 30 cycles. I've killed enemies with my bare hands. 20 minutes, Riley said calmly. Give me 20 minutes in the combat ring. If you can beat me, I'll resign from the academy. No questions asked. Vrextal's laughter was like breaking glass. Agreed. And when I break you, human, you'll crawl home to your death world in shame. 18 minutes later, the medical bay was in chaos. Riley stood in the center of the ring, barely winded, while emergency medical technicians swarmed around Commander Vrextal's unconscious form. His head hung at an unnatural angle, not severed, but dislocated, popped from its socket with surgical precision. His spine was intact, his life not in danger, but his pride was shattered beyond repair. She moved like water, whispered Cadet Plixnor, a six-limbed Thraxian. I've never seen anything move that fast. The first 5 minutes had been standard, blocks, parries, testing reaches and reflexes. Vrextal had been confident, even playful, treating it like a demonstration for the other cadets. Then Riley had changed. She'd stopped defending and started hunting. Every movement became economical, brutal, efficient. She'd targeted joints, nerve clusters, balance points. When Vrextal tried to use his superior reach, she'd closed the distance. When he tried to grapple, she'd made his strength work against him. The finishing move came at minute 17. Riley had caught his striking arm, pivoted under it, and used his own momentum to flip him. Before he hit the ground, she'd already secured his neck in a hold that would have killed him if she'd applied just 10 more pounds of pressure. Instead, she'd simply twisted. The medical chief, a elderly Vextari, examined the commander while shooting worried glances at Riley. Precise manipulation of the C3 vertebral joint. Temporary dislocation, minimal tissue damage. She knew exactly where to strike. Academy Director Moldavin, a crystalline being of pure energy, materialized beside the ring. Cadet Morgan. Riley snapped to attention, her face neutral despite the swelling bruise already forming on her cheek. The combat evaluation protocols, Moldavin said slowly, were designed for training disputes. Not for. They gestured at the unconscious commander. He questioned my discipline, Director. Riley's voice was steady. I demonstrated it. Precisely. A long silence followed. Then Moldavan's crystalline form brightened, the equivalent of a smile. Report to Advanced Combat Instruction at 0600 hours. It seems we've been underutilizing your talents. As the medical team carried Vrextal away, Riley finally allowed herself a small smile. Being from a death world wasn't a weakness. It was an advantage they'd just begun to understand.